This is Arithmetic Fluency 1. So the first question is 375 add 213. In the ones we have 5 add 3 equals 8, so 8 ones. Then 70 add 10 equals 80, so we're going to put 8 in the tens. And then 300 plus 200 is 500, so we're going to put 5 in the hundreds, 588. Number 2. Here, if we look at the numbers, 647 add 325, we can see that in the ones, here 7 add 5, we're going to need to regroup that number. So we will use a column method here. So we'll do 7 add 5 equals 12, 4 add 2 equals 6, add 1 is 7, 7 in the tens, and 6 add 3 equals 9 in the hundreds, 972. The next question, we have inverse. So inverse, if you remember, means the opposite. So the opposite of minus is add. So we're going to do 736 add 47. I'm going to use column method here. 736 add 47. So 6 add 7 equals 13. So the 1 goes into the tens and 3 ones in 13. Now in the tens we have 30. Add 40 is 70, add 1 more 10 is 80. If we think about just the digits, 3 add 4 is 7, add 1 is 8. Then we have 700 add nothing, so it's 7 in the tens, 783. Now we have 40 add 72 add 60. Now you might notice that this is nearly exactly the same as what the question that we had in the arithmetic quiz. So I'm hoping you remembered this one, that you could find complements and say 40 add 60 we know is 100, add 72 equals 172. Now here we have the question where we're adding on a 9. So again, I'm first going to show how we can round it. So 576 add 9. If we round the 9 up to 10 and say 576 add 10 equals, we can just use place value to say we're increasing the tens digit by 1 10. So it will be 586. But because we rounded up to 10, we need to compensate, we need to minus 1, which equals 585. So 576 add 9 equals 585. And let's check that by using the think 10 method. So we sometimes call this the cherry model, the part whole model, because 9 is the whole and we're regrouping it into parts. So here we want to make 10. So 6 add 4 is 10, but then we need to have the rest of the 9, so we need to add on 5. So 576 add 4 equals 580. And then we need to add on the 5 equals 585. And that is the end of Arithmetic Fluency 1. This is Arithmetic Fluency 2. So we have addition firstly. So we have 342 add 415. If we look at those numbers, we can see there isn't going to be any regrouping. We have 2 and 5 in the 1, so 7, 4 tens and 1 10, so it's going to be 5 tens, and 3 hundreds and 4 hundreds, which makes 700. So the answer will be 757. For the next question, we have the numbers 713 add 195. Now the ones, I can see that would be fine, but in the tens, I can see that we'd have to regroup here when we're adding 1 10 and 9 tens. So I'm going to use column addition. So 3 add 5 equals 8. In the tens, we have 1 10 and 9 tens. This makes 10 tens, which is 100. So I put 1 in the hundreds and 0 in the tens. Then I have 7 add 1 is 8, add 1 more is 9 in the hundreds, so the answer is 908. The next question, we have missing number at the beginning. So missing number at the beginning, do the inverse and you're winning. So the inverse of subtraction here is addition, so we need to do the opposite, we need to work backwards. and say 383 add 57 will give us this missing number. So I'm going to use column addition to add 383, add 57. Now I need to be careful to line it up correctly. So 5 goes into the tens and 7 goes into the ones. And put add here because we need to remember we're actually adding here. 3 add 7 is 10. So 1 in the tens and 0 in the ones. 8 add 5 is 13, add one more, 14. So that's actually 140. So put 1 in the hundreds and 4 in the tens. Then we have 3 add 1 is 4 in the hundreds. So the answer is 440. For number 4, we have 30 add 49 add 70. So now this is where we're looking for complements. So what numbers here go together to make it easier? So I can see 30 and 70 are complements to 100, same as last time. So 30 and 70 equals 100, plus 49 equals 149. The next question, 495 add 9. So I'm going to show you two ways here. Firstly, compensating. So I'm going to think instead of 495 add 9, I'm going to round 9 up and do 495 add 10, which equals 505. But then I need to remember that I rounded it up to 10 and I need to take away 1 because it was actually only added 9. So 505 minus 1 equals 504. Now let's look at the think 10 method. So 495 add 9. We think, right, let's make it up to the next 10 first. So if we had 5 and 5 makes 10, then we've made another 10 here, and then we have to add more. So if we're regrouping the 9 into 5, and it will need to be 4. 5 and 4 makes 9. So now we can rewrite the sum. So 495 add 5 is 500. So I can write 500. Then we need to add on the extra bit, which is 4. 500 add 4 equals 504. And we can see we got the same answer using those methods. That's the end of Arithmetic Fluency 2. This is Arithmetic Fluency 3. So we'll start with our first addition question where we're going to just use place of value. So 158 add 341. So if we look in the ones first, 8 add 1 is 9. In the tens we have 5 and 4. It's 9. And in the ones in the hundreds we have 1 and 3 equals 4. 499. Then for this one, 297 add 152. Let's look. So 7 add 2, that won't require a grouping. 9 and 5 in the tens, now that will require regrouping, so we're going to use column addition. So 7 add 2 is 9. 9 add 5 equals 14. So it would be 140. So we put 1 in the hundreds and 4 in the tens. Then we have in the hundreds, 200 add 100 is 300. Add another 100 is 400. So 449. Be careful not to get mixed up with the digits here, there's lots the same. Inverse, something minus 15 equals 516. So we need to do the opposite, we need to do 516, add 15 to find out this number. So 516, add 15, 6 add 5 is 11, 3 in the tens and 5 in the hundreds, 531. Now we can check that's correct because we could then take away the 15 and see that we're left with 516. Number 4, we are looking for complements. So same as the last time, we can see 50, and 50 makes 100 plus 68 equals 168. Lastly, we have our question adding 9. So we can round 9 up to 10. We could say 648 add 10, which equals 658. And then minus 1 equals 640. 657. We can also use the part-whole model. We can use think 10. So if we're adding 9, we can split that, because first over here we want to make 10. So 8 and 2 makes 10. That means we have 7 left to add. So 648 add 2 equals 650. Add 7 equals 657. So we can see we got the same answer, and that is the end of Arithmetic Fluency 3. This is Arithmetic Fluency 4. So we have 417 plus 252. So in the ones we have 7 and 2 equals 9. Then in the tens we have 10 add 50 equals 60. So we're going to put 6 in the tens. And in the hundreds, 400 add 200 equals 600. So we're going to put 6 in the hundreds as well. Now here we have 697 add 286. I'm going to use column method. So 7 add 6 equals 13. 9 add 8 equals 17. Add one more, 18. 6 add 2 equals 8. Add one more is 9 in the hundreds, 983. Number 3. We have something minus 27 equals 302. So we need to use the inverse. We need to add 302 add 27. Now for here, I don't really need to do column method. I can add 7 in the ones to 2, so it's going to end in 9, and 20 here. So it's going to be 300, and then tens, 20, and then 1, 7 add 2, 9, 329. Now we could see if we did 329 minus 27, that would get us to the answer 302. So we can see that that is correct. Now here we have 50 add 60 add 50. Which ones of those are complements? Well, 50 and 50 makes 100. Then add on the 60, 160. 853 plus 9 equals, so here we're going to round the 9 up to 10. We're going to say 853 add 10 equals 863. And then we need to minus 1 to compensate. We 860 minus 1 equals 862. Now we can also use the think 10 method. 853 add 9. So here we're thinking 10. So 3 add 7 would make 10. We have to add 2 more. So 853 add 7 gets us to the next 10, which is 860. Add this extra 2 equals 862. That is the end of Arithmetic Fluency 4.